Hello there. In this video, we're going to solve this 700 plus level question from geometry. But before we begin solving, let me remind you to hit the like button. That'll tell us that you enjoy such videos from us and will push us to create more such videos continuously. Let's begin with this question. Now, in any data sufficiency question, you always start analyzing the question stem first and then you move on to the statements. Let's do just that. So here we only have the question stem. So this is the first part, the statement analysis. What does it tell us? In the quadrilateral ABCD, AB is 7.25. Point E is the intersection point of diagonals AC and BD. Okay, we can see that intersection point here. The question is AB greater than BC? So this is AB and this other one here is your BC, and you want to compare those. Before I say anything any further, just pause the video and try this. Try to select the correct statement. When I play back again, you should be ready with your answer. Alright, I hope you tried. Well, the correct answer here is none of the above. The first one says that the two diagonals are equal. The second one compares the two diagonals saying that AC is the greater one. The third one says the opposite sides of this quadrilateral AB and CD are equal. Well, choice 4 says both of these are true. We have no proof for any of these unless you assumed that this is a rectangle. In that case, you would find them true. You would find the first one correct, you would find C correct, and you would mark D, right? But we have no such information here. Unless we know that it's a rectangle, we should never make assumptions based on how a figure looks, right? So here all it says is that it's a quadrilateral, so just take it that much. So here then we got no special linkage between the diagonals. Now here we have also put in the length of AB right here above AB, so you can see the data from the question, and we need to find exactly whether AB is greater than BC. So you need a definite yes or a definite no, that yes it is greater or no it is greater. So that is what we need to find. Now the question stem analysis is complete. So what was important for you till here was that you understand the properties of diagonals of different types of quadrilaterals. Whatever is valid for a rectangle may not be valid for any general quadrilateral, is not valid for a parallelogram, for example. Never assume information from what you see in a figure unless specifically specified. So here you already have a learning point. With this now, let's move on. So here is statement 1. Statement 1 tells us that EC is equal to 5 centimeters. So this here is 5. Now what? Again, let me break this down. Pause the video and answer this question for me. Alright, I hope you tried. Well, you cannot say that AE is 5. You cannot assume that this point here where the two diagonals meet is bisecting the diagonal AC, because again, it's not a rectangle where you've seen that property. We have no such information. AE plus EC is equal to AC. Well, now that definitely is something you can say, because AC is definitely a straight line. We know it is the diagonal of this quadrilateral and E is a point on it. Next thing says that AC is 10. I can't say that because I still don't know what AE is. So we know EC, but we don't know AE. And none of the above is out of the picture. So for us then, I hope you also marked 2 when you were doing this. Overall, what we can say here is that just because I know EC, I cannot say anything else about the entire diagonal. Since we don't know anything else about this quadrilateral ABCD, we cannot process this EC equal to 5 centimeters in any way and then take it forward to comparing AB and BC. It doesn't go that far. So the first statement here is insufficient, and that is why we can eliminate choices A and D. Now, let's move on. Here is statement 2 for you. While the question stays the same, you still want to compare AB and BC. Statement 2 says that the perimeter of AEB, so this triangle here, the perimeter of AEB is greater than the perimeter of BEC, where this is the other triangle. So we're comparing their perimeters, and we are given that all interior angles of ABCD are right angles. Let's first try to process this information here. First of all, try to answer this question while I wait for you. Alright. Now, the correct answer here is 2. Why this time? Let me show you. So if we're given that all interior angles of ABCD are right angles, we are given that it's a rectangle. So this was something we were not able to infer directly from the question stem or from the first statement. Nothing told us that it's a rectangle. But this piece of information that you see highlighted here, this makes it certain that ABCD is a rectangle. And therefore, opposite sides really are going to be equal. And now that you have a rectangle, you can talk about the properties of the diagonals of a rectangle. One, that the diagonals bisect each other. So AE is equal to EC, and similarly ED is equal to EB. They bisect each other with the midpoint of both of the diagonals being E. Next thing you have here is the diagonals are equal. So the entire length AC is equal to the entire length of BD. So finally, what can you conclude from here? That all of these 4 small parts are also equal. So AE is equal to EC, that is equal to ED, and that is equal to EB. All of these parts are equal. Then if we try to use the first piece of information in our statement, that the perimeter of AEB is greater than the perimeter of BEC, that is really nothing but the sum of all of the sides of these two triangles. So AEB will be AE, EB, and AB. Similarly, BEC will have its 3 sides here, BE, EC, and BC. Now the best part here is, you see it highlighted in green, that these are the ones that are already equal to each other. So the green entities will get cancelled out, right? So AE here, you know, is equal to EC. So this and this, they'll cancel out each other. Similarly, ED and BE are equal. So anyway, you have BE and BE. So this also gets cancelled out. All you're left with is AB greater than BC, and that was precisely what you were looking for. You wanted to compare AB with BC. And now you see that you could do that from statement 2 alone. So the correct answer here is choice B. Let's do a quick recap here. In the first statement, because of the question stem and because the first statement gave us nothing, we did not know anything else about the quadrilateral. We could not assume the diagonals are equal or they bisect each other or anything. So we could not take this information of EC being 5 further to get to AB or BC. So this statement was insufficient. When we went to statement 2, we were given the perimeters of 2 triangles, AEB and BEC, and those 2 triangles, the perimeters were compared, telling us that AEB has the greater perimeter. Then we used properties of the diagonals of a rectangle, because now ABCD became a rectangle because all of its interior angles were right angles. Then finally we used the piece of information about perimeters, and all of these green entities cancelled out, leaving us with what we wanted, and thus the correct answer became B. I hope you enjoyed this video and some of your concepts, whatever you were confused about, got clearer. There's a lot more that we have to offer. Make sure you subscribe to the channel so that you never miss out updates. We regularly post on MBA admissions and GMAT preparation. Happy learning!